Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Cities Skylines 2. This is episode number 20. Just in loading up the game from right where we left off last time, I've opened up to a new milestone. I didn't think we were on the verge of a milestone. Apparently we were, or they've updated the game, which could be the case. And it's changed the experience scoring somehow. I don't know. But milestone 16. Holy crap, we're already getting to the later stages of this thing. Thriving metropolis, another nearly 5 million, 17 progression points, and 36 tiles. That is also one of the major milestones. We now have just 4 left, with a flourishing metropolis, expansive metropolis, massive metropolis, and a megalopolis. Now, the secondary goal, besides hitting all of the milestones, which we're now on the tail end of that, the secondary goal is to get all or as many of the achievements as we can. So let's check in with how we're doing on the achievements to open up this episode. So we have my first city. The inspector has not been done. Have a look at each individual info view. There's still info view panels that I haven't looked at. Really? Okay. I guess I'm going to be doing that one here in a moment. That should be easy enough to do. Happen to be of service, create a city district, and assign a city service to that district. I have not isolated city services to specific districts as of yet, but that would be easy enough to do. A royal flush we have. Key to the city we do not. That's population of... unlock each building available in the base game. Actually, no, there's some that we haven't unlocked because we haven't gone through and done the progression points, right? There's still things that have not been unlocked through that. 6 figures, reach a population of 100k. We're getting close to 6 figures. Go anywhere we have and have had for a long time. That's transport lines. A hailstorm. We have yet to have one because it had to get cold enough here. We've had snow once so far, maybe in the next year. Experience a tornado. We have that one now. That's a new achievement that I didn't have previously. Forest fire. Definitely had that. Zero emission. Have a city that produces electricity by only using renewable energy sources. That's going to involve changes, as we do have a coal power plant, but we've done solar after that, so if we continue down that path and get away from that coal one, that wouldn't be too hard to achieve. Up and away. We have built an airport, but okay, sure. Making a mark. I bet you if I moved the airport, it would suddenly take that. 5 signature buildings. Unlock 150 map tiles. We got that one, I think, last episode, actually. Or the episode before, possibly. But calling the shots. Have 5 city policies active simultaneously. We're not doing citywide ones. We've had just local ones. Wide variety. 10 districts. Oh, with policies assigned to each. So we only assigned policies to 5. That would be easy enough to get, as we have more than 10 districts. And actually, possibility to assign at least a couple more districts right now, or a few more districts, through the growth we've had of late. I don't have districts for all of them. Executive decision, assign a policy. Yep. We've done that one. So we have assigned at least one, apparently. All smiles. Happy. You little stalker. Follow a citizen's life path from childhood to old age. Okay, we need to find a child to follow. I made this. Use the editor to make an asset of any other type than a map. Okay, make a map. Both of those are not going to work very well within this particular playthrough. That's okay. Explorer. Last mile marker, reach milestone 20. I'm guessing we're talking about the highway, across the highway or something, or nearly across. 4 seasons. We've experienced all of those. Spider webbing, getting there. 50 active transport lines. We're at 26, more than halfway there. Snapshot. Oh, I still haven't done that. That's an easy one. Take a screenshot. Not my happy place. Have at least 1,000 citizens. And an average happiness rating of 25%. Oh, have 1,000 unhappy citizens. We don't have 1,000 unhappy citizens out of 90k. The architect. 10 signature buildings, we've got that. Simply irresistible. Attractiveness rating, that's the one we still need to pick up. Our tourism rating is still mediocre. Top of the class, 15% of the population has a university education level. Still not yet, but I think that's a number that's been growing. Deep end. Total loan, 200K. Okay, so we need a loan of 200,000 to achieve that one. That would be really easy to just turn around and pay off, right? We're almost at the end of the list. I think I want to do that one here in a moment. Groundskeeper. 10 parks. Okay, sure. I think they just did an update. They had to have and added some new ones because clearly, clearly, we have added 10 parks. 100 trees. That we have not done. I've planted a couple. Strength through diversity. All zone types. Squisher Downer. Bulldoze. Yeah, we've got a long ways to go on that one. I've bulldozed more than 12. No, not really, actually. I've rezoned. That's different. Little TLC. Healthcare. We've done that. Welcome one and all. 6,000 tourist visits. And again, see, it's at 0. But we've had tourism visits. One of everything. Build all unique city service. Buildings in a single city. We've got most, but there are a couple that still need to unlock. Yeah, see, we've just ticked over into thriving metropolis. So that's where we're at, I guess. Which one did I want to do? Loan of 200K. Funny thing is the minimum loan that I can take out right now with where we're at on what our limit is 500K. But let's go ahead and take that real quick. And there is the deep end. You're not seeing the pop-up on your screen, but repay loan. Achievement done. And that was interest-free, so that didn't cost us a thing. We currently have 19 progression points to utilize. That's definitely a good thing. So, gas power plant is what we've been using, not coal. But we've already switched to solar. I don't want to do the hydroelectric. Geothermal is definitely a good way to get into something. Or do we want to stick with solar? Just add more solar and replace the gas power plant that exists. I think we might want to just go with more solar. Okay, the advanced water pumping station. I noticed we are short on water last time, so let's go ahead and spend 8 points on that. And the Geological Research Center. And I guess next up for us is water transport, though we are still working on that subway transport. We got some work to do there, but that'll be our last for the moment. The Geological Research Center is a facility for performing geological research and field studies, helps discover larger underground deposits of ore and oil. But it's a +3 college graduation chance citywide, and then plus 200% ore deposits and oil deposits. That's definitely a potential money maker for us. The upkeep is kind of the bigger thing than anything else. We do have kind of our university row. Do we have room in our university row? I think we do. No upgrades, it just does what it does. So that immediately takes care of one of our 3 additions. Okay, the advanced water pumping station extracts water from lakes, rivers, and other bodies of surface water and pumps it to the city's water network. This high-power facility can easily perform the work of several regular pumping stations on its own. Water output is quite high, but it's surface water, not underground water. But the water availability instantly goes up significantly, and most of that immediately goes into the water trade. Meanwhile, the sewage treatment, not a massive excess, but it's still doing fine. We can easily add another treatment facility if necessary. And the other new addition, of course, is sea trade. So if we're going to be adding in a port, we need a location for a port first. Right now, our big shipping area, our big industrial area is down there, and you would want it to be near that. So would we want a port way upriver? Can we put a port way upriver, or does it need to be out in the open sea? In which case, I think behind the airport, somewhere out here, would be a great place for that. I mean, we've got this nice island here that we could absolutely get to and use for whatever purpose, but I think that would be more of a kind of a residential area, and then just bridge it across. By the way, our old sewage dump, you can see how that spread. It's still just kind of lingering out there. It's amazing that hasn't gone away after all this time. Well, we could certainly try to put a port up here. Wouldn't be a terrible location. Usually you kind of want it a little protected. Like, can you get a sea lane into here and put your port here? I think this would be a good protected spot, though it looks a little bit... the terrain's iffy there. It's not great. I mean, we could always adjust the terrain. It's not that hard to do. Alright, we're going to pick up these tiles. I might as well pick up these two just to kind of have that whole shoreline. We do have trades, so there's already the possibility of trade transport through there, and that's one of the things that is attracting me to this. And we already have a road network, and we already have a freeway network, and we can add in another ramp somewhere around here that gets us, you know, over top of the railroad tracks, and then kind of brings us down into that direction. So we can ease the traffic burden fairly easily. But we do want to try to stick it in here somehow, and then I suppose we can kind of build up to it. So water, what do we have? A harbor. Passenger ships stop here to load and unload. Passenger terminal allows passengers to board and disembark. Okay, or a cargo harbor. So now we have the question of which one do we want? Do we want them both to be in the same area? And then our seaways. Well, I think I want to put the cargo one here for sure. So let's start with the cargo one. It's pretty big, and this takes care of the land issues very quickly. Okay, you've got to have that open seaway. So we've got to be out here a little bit further to get that open seaway. Now the passenger, ooh, they can actually connect up with each other. Or we could have it out here a little bit further. This one's so much smaller though, it's pretty easy to separate them. I kind of like it there behind the airport. Okay, we'll worry about the seaways in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the road infrastructure set up for both of them first. I don't think we'll have this kind of traffic, but we'll make a 4-lane. For now, simple connection is all we have, all we require. Later on, I think I want to put in another kind of simple on-ramp, off-ramp back here, because for one, we'll have a lot more going on in these parts anyway, so we'll need it, we'll require it, but also it'll help divide up the traffic from here this way and get it in and out a little bit quicker and easier, and we'll kind of branch it off of this traffic circle that we've already placed there in preparation. Now, we have our C lanes to construct. Okay, there are active C lanes that we need to connect up to, and they are out here. So we are going to have to get some additional tiles to reach it. Okay. That brings our C lanes in touch with each other. Okay, and now we're going to need tiles out to here. So let's get those tiles taken care of. Alright, C lanes, we have 2 possible routes. So we're going to make one to Headley and back cargo route. And then we're going to make another one in a different color. Let's go with a light purple. And we'll make that here to Lidbury. And back. So 2 routes there. And then now we're going to switch to the passenger and do the same. We only have a single harbor for that. Do we? You know what? I think we'll be totally fine. Okay, looking at the harbor, there are upgrades available. Extra pier. So a second pier would make that for a second ship to be able to dock at the same time. And a transit terminal. Bus platforms. Then the buses can come directly here and not just have to stop. That could be a handy one. In fact, we have the perfect bus for that. Let's add that in. The cargo harbor. The upgrades available for that are something. There we go. Cargo cranes. Additional cranes increase speed. I like that. Add those cargo cranes in, and then we have railway connection. Transport cargo directly to and from the harbor. Sounds like a good plan. A warehouse is additional storage. And it is an add-on to the side. Let's get it added on. Well, okay. We have shipping now set up, available to us. We'll put that into use. I did not set up the rail line because it looks like the rail line is conflicting with the building that I just put down, which was for the expanded storage. Might be the case, might not be the case. Either way, it's not wanting to enter in at the moment. I've added in 4 new neighborhoods as we go through. First off, we have Boomtown. Burbs was the opposite side of the freeway, so we now have Boomtown going on here. Still haven't put anything in for the airport, so I might need to add that one in as well. We have Birch Crest, Woodland Park, and Farmville. I think one thing I might want to address is the fact that the traffic coming into the town just cannot keep up. This freeway is just too small to handle the traffic load, so I think I'm going to, at the very least, expand this a bit along the way so that traffic can deal a little more, run a little more smoothly entering the town. We've got 71 tiles, right? It's not going to hurt me. In fact, it's not going to hurt me at all to just pick them all up. That's 8. Let's go ahead and even this thing out a little bit while we're at it. I'm going to let this immediate traffic kind of flow a little bit, clear up a little bit, and then I'm going to redo the highway. 3 lanes. We'll pause it, give them a chance to hop across the road and hopefully get things right. There still seems to be some traffic backed up back there, but There we go. Not always smooth, but fixed. Except for this fact that all of these cars are suddenly facing the wrong direction and they did not jump over to the other side of the freeway. So it's a lot of traffic that's going to have to go out and turn around, come back in, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. They will be fine. Commercial, low density residential have been in demand for a long time, so let's go ahead and start to address that need a little bit. We've got another neighborhood space to fill in here with Woodland Park. We're not going to make the whole thing go away. I don't mind dividing it up a little bit. I kind of like to see us connect things up on this side somewhat, though that could create some traffic. But I think we'll fill in this pocket here. That's another low residential neighborhood zoning in. We still have that commercial need, and we do have this particular road that can help us with that. We're going to do a little bit of mixed, and then mostly just some low density commercial, kind of connecting these two neighborhoods up. This is now linked together side by side here, so that is a possibility to get over there. I think at the same time I'd like to maybe connect this road up over here. We could put in a small little neighborhood right there, or a small commercial zone anyway right there. Alright, so we're going to squeeze in a very small residential neighborhood and then a little bit of commercial to go with it. Way back here. It's going to lead to a lot of just smaller houses. And that makes two ways. We've now connected up Rascal Flats to the new freeway and our, what is it, Waterworks? Yeah, Waterworks neighborhood. We were getting some problematic traffic right here. This might alleviate a little bit of that. We were having issues here too, but it looks like that's cleared up now. The traffic circle that we put in there has done away with the issues. See how much of this traffic is trying to go into the new neighborhood. I would imagine quite a bit of it actually, because it's new construction, so people are coming home for the first time to houses. But definitely not all of it turning left. Just a little over half. I think we're okay with the setup the way it is. It's a very hilly area, so there's going to be a lot of little vacancies in the setup. We are getting a lot more traffic into this area as predicted. A lot of cars trying to come into the area. And there's a lot of additional traffic at the cargo port. So the good news is that means we are moving cargo. But that does mean, as predicted, we need to get another off-ramp to connect up here. So start work on that project. Alright, new dumbbell intersection. I've got, unlike the previous ones where I had them in maybe a little too close together, this one I've tried to spread out the traffic circles a fair bit so that there's more room for error, more room for traffic to kind of squeeze in to set those up. And that should start alleviating some of that traffic that would have gone on further. That'll take some of the traffic here and squeeze it away from what's going on with the airport, because this was nice and clear until we added in the cargo. What is your deal? You have a crime scene. Cool. It's a first. Oh, here. Police car has been dispatched. Let's see, where is that? Oh, he's caught in traffic. Speed things up a bit and follow this police car for a little. Those that are trying to turn left are the ones having issues. The police car is trying to go right, so I'm not sure why he's hanging out in the left-hand lane here still. By the way, for the first time in our city's history, our population has really been holding steady. That downward trend has finally really gone level. That 91,000 we've been holding somewhere between 90 and 92k, fluctuating up and down a little bit continuously throughout this episode. Money, not the same situation though, as it continues to climb 165k, and we weren't going at all until one car just forced their way into traffic. And that's finally going to get things moving again a little bit. Just one car left in front of our police car who's responding to a crime scene and clearly not going to make it in time. Securing crime scene is their task at the moment. Just remembered we need to follow a baby. And that's it. They're now dispatched somewhere else to the underground subway station. Alright, now let's start. We got some garbage piling up there. We've still got that traffic. Wow, look at all those crime scenes. Dang, okay. Crime is on the rise. Not an icon I had seen before, and suddenly it's everywhere. Traffic once again here on the freeway. Quite backed up. And it's Little Manhattan finally. All those new office buildings that got built up has finally brought in enough traffic for Little Manhattan to have some issues. One side's totally fine, this side is not. Not sure why. We're not moving though, delivery van. Traffic lights are definitely the best way to go through this little section where I have on-ramp, off-ramp, on-ramp, off-ramp. 4 of them, kind of back to back to back. Crime scene at that subway station. Apparently the subway is a place to have quite a bit of crime. This will help some, but we can't do anything about that bridge. Oh, I know that problem. I know that problem. I live very close to the I-5 bridge from Portland into Washington, and it's quite old, and it's actually 3 lanes, but same issue. We think it's a bottleneck all the time. I think it's time though that much of the city just has an upgraded freeway, period. Regardless, such a low cost to upgrade it anyway. Okay, and then I think we're gonna have to stick with this the way it is. Ooh, that's gotten a little backed up with traffic now. Yeah, look at all these crime scenes all of a sudden. It's like we hit a certain level and certain issues that were never there are suddenly there. Or the game just updated and actually is dealing with something that it was never dealing with prior. I still have not shifted the buses over much, but this traffic is so much better than what it was. I mean, it's still mostly foot traffic, bus traffic through this area. It's really not that bad otherwise. This is where we've got a little backup, but it's not that far. We're talking about a couple blocks that's a little tricky to make it through, and it's mostly just that it's buses trying to get onto that bus lane. And foot traffic, apparently. I mean, like, what's this bus waiting for? There you go. Oh, hello, subway. The green line. It's my favorite. Okay, you know what? Let's check in on that transportation. How's it doing these days? Because we have changed the outlook just a little bit. Tourism is back up to 7. But we have 60,000 people moving per month. It's still half on the bus lines. Train is just 3K. Subway's up to 20,000. And it's just the 2 lines. We really need to expand that subway. Really need to expand that subway. I think that is the big key, and that's going to have to be the focus of our next episode for sure. Just briefly taking a look at starting with the bus lines usage. I mean, 109% for the Eugene line. Milford is at 102%. I think the Eugene line would be a perfect candidate to add another bus line. You know what? Let's do that before we call this an episode. Eugene has a single bus line. And let's see, Eugene is here, right? So this is the Eugene neighborhood. It's got a single bus line that connects then to that main downtown bus station. Yet, there's a bus station right down here, which is closer to Eugene and closer to the busier Boomtown area. So I think we're going to start a bus line from here that then goes and hits up Eugene and divides up the traffic a little bit, or the passenger traffic that's using those buses, and that should ease the burden of that bus line a little bit. We're going to go straight into the edge of the burbs at Eugene for this bus route. And then, alright, besides our brand new line, everything else has high usage. I think we have one, the Milford, that's an external route that leaves the city. It doesn't have much. And the Terminal Express, that one surprises me. That is just a simple back and forth between the bus terminals. That, for the moment at least, is not getting used. Our train lines, we do have passengers on two of them, the Loop and the one to and from Newmarket, but Farringdon and Regat, we don't have the tourism for one thing, so that's not helping. No tram lines, subway lines, I have not named those, but both of them are getting used decently. Surprised the usage is actually not higher. It seemed like we were moving a lot of people through subway, and doesn't seem that's quite the case at the moment. Our shipping lines are getting used though already. We are getting passengers in and out. It's minimal usage, but it's just started up, and our airline, all three are carrying passengers. On the cargo side, our airport loop is not getting used at all. I do not understand why it's not. It seems to be hooked up in the way necessary, but it's not being used. But the Farringdon and the Regat one are moving cargo at least. Our shipping route is getting used extensively already, approaching 100% on that. And then that air cargo one, combined with the one train route that's not working. Don't know what the deal is there. I suppose I could try to do some research on why I'm not getting anything going in and out. I mean, I feel like we have what's necessary to bring goods and ship goods via air, but it's not happening at the time. But all in all, things are good, except for the lack of a growing population right now. We did add in this new residential area, but that still is not offsetting the outgoing population at the moment. And that's probably because we have such high demand for commercial, so there's no jobs, so people are leaving. We're going to need to address both of those needs if we want to see that population start to grow once again. It's holding steady. I definitely want to see it hit that 100K mark for the sake of the achievement. We've made some achievements here recently. In this episode, we did focus and quickly get after a couple. I still did not go find a young child. Let's do that before we wrap this episode up. We will pick, well, you know what, we were just talking about Eugene. Let's pick a random house here in Eugene, and 113 Florence Street with a single resident. It's an adult. How about next door? One resident, two residents, two adults. Do we have a family? We have three residents and there's two children here. Okay, we might be onto something here with this one. But how do I find your residence? There we go. The Emersons. Oh, okay. The Emerson family is 5, but that's because there's Calla, Dandelion, the pets. We have Rusty and David. Oh, come on. Rusty, it's got to be Rusty. Poorly educated, idling child who is at elementary school. We are going to now follow. We are going to follow Rusty Emerson as our one and only followed citizen. So we'll keep an eye on them as time goes on here at 99 Florence Street. Rusty Emerson is the one. Alright folks, well that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.